What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Jackson. Let us go.
What's up, YouTube? Right now you're hanging with Mr. Jackson. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the main story. The reason why, before I even let y'all know the reason why, I'm 5 levels ahead of the main story. But somebody hit me up and let me know that if you just do the main story quest, you will hit 65 and still have some main story left over. So that's what I'm gonna do, yo. And then he sent me a video link to prove it to me, yo. A person that hit level 65 just doing the main story quest had a ton of quests left over, even side quests, and he ain't do all his fraction quests, because I'm gonna stop on that one too. I'm gonna wait to the end. I'm gonna go back and do everything else, y'all. I know people like, yo, you need to do all that. I'm gonna go back and do everything, but I'm gonna get through this main story, because he said you get more XP by doing the main story quest. And I might do a little bit of mount quest, I don't know. But in this video, you're gonna see me finish one more side quest, that number 2 quest right there. And then after that, I'm gonna end it, y'all. I'm gonna just stick to the main story quest, y'all. And so enough of that, yo. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into it. Let's get it.
I hoped time would bring new life to Brightwood, but it remains as dreary as it was 2 centuries ago. The Order was long gone by the time the darkness descended here. No, it was the cold curse of the soulless lost that brought misery to Brightwood. If Umberto was even still here by that time, then he may well have departed. That we must discover. I heard Umberto was ministering to the town of Walsham, now but a haunted remnant of what it was then. I will leave the investigation to your youthful vigor and meet you north of town. Good hunting, Warden.
Pastor Pruitt, it is with the utmost urgency and discretion that I author this note. Out of respect for your seniority in Walsham, I choose not to challenge you publicly, but I am disappointed nonetheless. These poor lost souls who have wandered into town may seem to have lost their humanity, but is this not a test of our faith? The decision to bury them seems to me a decision to surrender hope. There simply must be a main way. Please, let us at least discuss the matter. Pruitt, it is plain now that ignoring my concerns has cost this town dearly. Even the most faithful are on the verge of despair. And as we've seen, that seems to be the true source of this soulless plague. Our hollow prayers and efforts to bury these tragic events are only making matters worse. I cannot bear to witness this tragedy unfold. I am told of a faithful knight who resides west in Ballard's Manor. Sir Galahad? I will seek him out, and if Providence affords, I will return with the hope and the strength to save our town. Brother Umberto.
It appears the town fell to the lost, primarily from within. No signs of any defense. I wonder if Brother Umberto sought aid from somewhere else. Sir Galahad, eh? The shining knight from the court of King Artorius himself. An honorable warrior, as I recall, but a bit squeamish regarding the requirements of becoming a soul warden. Many of the king's knights joined the Order, but of course, you know what happened to them. Galahad remained at Artorius' side, and now that I hear the name, I do recall hearing he resurfaced after the war. Some say King Artorius fell during the war. Others say he fled, and there were even whispers that he turned. Perhaps Galahad can shed light on the fates of both the king and Brother Umberto. Yes, there are a few townships and manors that way if they have not fallen lost, like Walsham. You go on ahead. I want to do a little scouting to the north. It's time I pull my own weight. I'll catch up.
I do not relish striking you down, my fellow vigilant, but it is my duty. May your soul find peace, brother. Another who's not fallen is a welcome sight in these parts. Come, warm yourself by my fire. Be wary, traveler. A great tragedy has occurred here. The good people who lived in these hills have fallen and turned into soulless lost. If you've come seeking family or an old friend, I fear your journey may be in vain. Then there may yet be hope. Brother Umberto is a brave soul. He and I joined forces to defend these fair lands. But the story pains me to speak aloud. It is better if you read the account in my journal, just there. It was the dream of Avalon that led King Artorius to these shores. And of course, the wise counsel of the enchanter, Mirrodin. But the enchanter became obsessed with the island's mysteries. An insidious evil claimed his soul. The wars of crimson madness raged for a century. So many banners, all fallen to the corruption. I know not what transpired to end the conflict. We found no answers as to Mirrodin's fate. No trace of the High King. I sought new peace and purpose here in the Brightwood, but it would not last. A plague of soulless lost emerged. Brother Umberto and I formed the Bright Vigil to fight the darkness. But he stood alone when I left in search of my Lord King. I returned empty-handed to witness the results of my failure. The Vigil fallen to despair, and the Brightwood bright no more. Yes, friend. You are now acquainted with my regretful decision to abandon Umberto and go on a fruitless quest to find the king. My only desire now is to atone for my mistakes. But I'm not sure where to begin. Indeed, I would like nothing more than to find company in this lamentable endeavor. If you are willing to overlook my failed duties to the Vigil, then I will heartily accept your offer. It was among these townships and the nearby manor that Umberto and I founded the Vigil. I know the manor well. I will search there for clues, and you can search the towns. May the light be with us both.
Umberto's journal, March 17th. A cold wind blows instead of spring, and the trees in Brightwood are dry and void of music. Several knights have left the Vigil, and I have begun recruiting and training them as new vigilants. They've taken to calling themselves Shadow Hunters, and I will dispatch. Anything that keeps them hopeful is welcome. Umberto's journal, June 8th. It is the peak of summer, but it remains cold, and crops wither in the field. It seems every week we awaken one morning to find another of the townsfolk has fallen lost. Despite my misgivings, I've come to accept the only solution is to bury them. Strange as it may be to see graveyards on Aeternum, my greater concern is that they will soon be widespread. Umberto.
Ah, it is good to see you, young warden. I have bad news. I found a large force of corrupted to the east. Sir Galahad has informed me that corruption has claimed the manor as well. Sir Galahad continues the search in a town just north. The Bright Knight refuses to believe the corrupted have again become a greater threat. But you and I know better, and we cannot simply walk away. We must try. I hope to find only simple pockets of the corrupted, but they appear to be consolidating. I suggest you enter the manor and strike down the corrupted commander. It could buy us time.
I don't understand why you reject corruption. Is there someone telling you to do this? Lying to you about everything?
I welcome your aid for Umberto's sake, but I did not realize you were a soul warden. I welcome your aid for Umberto's sake, but I did not realize you were a soul warden. During the wars, your order insisted on the delusion that the Crimson Madness could not be defeated. Your friend Jonas now claims it's returned. Yes, some corrupted still linger, but I assure you, the Crimson Sorcerer is long gone. What matters most, however, is that we're united in seeking Brother Umberto. To me, it's clear. The darkness consuming the Brightwood is the lost. Umberto and I swore to fight it, and I will honor that oath. Nothing to explain how this entire region fell to the lost. Just horrific stories as so many succumbed to despair. There is evidence Umberto and the Vigil abandoned this place, but no indication where they went. Very well. I have a few more houses to search in Wolfsegg village. The Vigilants were apparently burying Lost in a nearby graveyard. You should check there, and then we'll rejoin the old man. Hopefully, with answers.
Condemnation of the Stott family. Let it be known that the Stott family committed crimes against the community by conspiring to hide the fact that certain members of the household had fallen lost. Unsurprisingly, the plague spread, and we now commit the entire family to the earth. Let it be known that the Stott family's keeper, Care Done, has been seized by the Bright Vigil. Grand Vigilant Umberto.
You have arrived just in time, young Soul Warden. I was becoming quite concerned.
Yes, the courageous soul we've both been waiting for. Your friend Jonas is rather disturbed about the presence of the corrupted in these parts.
You are putting it mildly, Sir Knight. Seeing such numbers this far south is a sign all of Aeternum is in grave danger.
Perhaps, but at the present, I'm more concerned about tracking down Brother Umberto. Seems he left here seeking some fortress. Yes, I remember the place. The fortress of Care Done lies some distance from here, however. Why there, I wonder? I will go straight away and leave you to sort out truth and fiction with Jonas. Have no fear. If I find Umberto, you'll be the first to know.
I feel guilty saying it, but I am relieved to see the knight depart. He clings to his ignorance with unwavering assurance. The corrupted are here in Foss, just as I suspected. There is a ranger nearby who has confirmed it. That is what you must investigate. I suggest you start in the mine. It could very well be something buried here. Find out what the corrupted are seeking, and then meet me in the town of Calvary to the east.
Your Azoth. Does it not feel right? Take that morsel from me. In return, I only ask you consider the feast I am offering.
I was on the verge of going to search for you, to apologize. I doubted both you and the old man, but I was wrong. On the way to Aeternum, I witnessed firsthand the size and activity of the corrupted forces here in the Brightwood. On that matter, I am as yet undecided. Finding Umberto is still my first priority. Aeternum offered more questions than answers. Something dark happened there, and it now lies vacant, perhaps even cursed. I've been inquiring around town whether anyone here was a witness to the Vigil's fall. But when I saw Jonas, I knew it was my duty to make amends to you both. The old man has more courage than good sense. He's gone to ascertain whether the corrupted have a presence in Great Cleave. I urged him to wait, but he refused. I suggest you head north right away to ensure his safety. I will continue to seek answers regarding Umberto and the Bright Vigil. Go on and assist the old man. If the light is with me, I will have answers by the time you return.
In my most dire estimations, I could not have imagined how desperate the situation has become. A few years ago, the Great Cleave was quiet, safe. But now, the corrupted appear to have total dominion. It means the corrupted have already conquered all the territory from here to the Shattered Mountain. It means we are too late. Any day now, their forces will sweep south and claim the rest of the island. The walls of Calvary are no match for the might of the forces we've just seen. I would suggest we lay claim to this fort, but the place is clearly cursed. If there's a way to remove the curse from the fortress, it might help us defend against the corrupted. But we will also need to recruit an army of new Soul Wardens. Search the fort, and then meet me in Calvary.
Well now, imagine finding the only other sane person on this island, here in this accursed place. I heard this Bright Vigil amassed quite a fortune before they up and vanished. They left a stain of evil as well. You joking? I already got quite an earful about the curse before I left Calvary. People down there don't like to talk about the Bright Vigil. But with a couple of coins, I heard what I needed to hear. If you want to share in the secrets, you'll need to contribute to the cause. You know that. This place makes my skin crawl. If you'll gather up valuables the Vigil stashed here, I'll tell you everything I know. Now we're talking. I see you found some shinies. Don't forget, all this is going toward buying a boat to get off this crazy rock. I suppose you're more interested in hearing about this curse, though, aren't you? Well, the dark truth is those righteous bastards turned on each other. And then, of course, they all fell lost. Mayor Pennyfather in Calvary, he knows more than he lets on. Lean on him a bit, and he'll cough it up.
I saw Jonas in the tavern. He's recruiting new soul wardens and entertaining some dream of claiming care done for the Order. Balmy as ever. But I'm glad he's back behind town walls. Good work. I'm afraid I haven't been quite so successful. The only thing I've learned is that Umberto hasn't been seen for years. The people of Calvary are strangely quiet when the subject of the Bright Vigil comes up. I did speak with the mayor. A bit nervous, that one. Are you suggesting he's hiding something from me? I suppose I'm not the best conversationalist. Perhaps you should speak with him. Go on.
God's ears! Tell me you're not here to talk about missing priests, cursed forts, or the damned Bright Vigil. Will you people never stop? Why can't I get any peace? Preposterous! I've nothing to hide. I just don't recall all the gory details. I was busy building this town when the Bright Vigil fell. Besides, dredging up such dark affairs serves no purpose. It's just depressing. Nonsense! The Lost Plague began before the Vigil was even founded. They just made things worse. But fine, if you leave me alone, I'll tell you. Visit the town of Morgenstadt. Something happened there. Or so I heard.
Notice to the people of Morgenstadt. By decree of the Grand Vigilant Umberto, the following families will be relocated from the town to be sheltered in Sonnesbrook Cathedral. Wallace, Van Hussum, De Goya, Fujiwara, Kao, Kazakov, Khalid, De Soto. Moira, tell the families there's no time to collect valuables, that they can return for those later. Once they get to the cathedral, administer the draft, and then commit their poor sleeping souls to the earth. Let us pray this will prevent their dour dispositions from infecting the rest of the village. Umberto. P.S. Don't worry about Penny, Father. I've informed him of the consequences of it.
I see that look in your eye. Whatever you found up there, I had nothing to do with it. The atrocities Umberto and the Vigilants committed against those poor, innocent families, it's simply unthinkable. Yes, I knew what they planned, but if I spoke out, Umberto said he'd bury me too. Every day I live with the shame of my silence, and in the time since, I promise, I've done all I can to remove the curse. I recruited a specialist, Master Alchemist Sun Fuchan from Ebonscale Reach. It's all I can do. You should speak to her. I've done all I can, and there's nothing more to say. Leave me to my shame.
Greetings, young warden. I understand you left town after speaking with Pennyfather. I must ask, what did you learn? Is it true that the Vigil resorted to dark methods of battling the Lost Menace? I cannot imagine Umberto committing such atrocities, and I am doubly shamed if they were carried out in the Vigil's name. As unpleasant as it may be, I must speak to Pennyfather and hear the truth of this firsthand. I will go and speak to the mayor myself. In the meantime, it would seem there are still questions as to Umberto's ultimate fate. Did Pennyfather give you any leads to follow? Someone who may know more? Very well. Then I will leave you to follow the trail, wherever it leads. I will attempt to learn more about Umberto's fall. I've begun to wonder if he ever sought to find the source of the Lost Plague. It first appeared in the Eastern Fens, and Umberto and I had discussed traveling there. If there are no other leads, I shall inquire about him in the Fens myself. After that, let's meet to share what we've learned.
If the mayor sent you to nag me about his invitation to tea, please give him my regrets. I don't have the interest or the time for social engagements, especially when he requests I work alone and keep everything so secret. He told you! Well then, a secret no more. So, yes, I'm trying to restore the Bright to Brightwood. Despite Pennyfather's hopes, restoring the entire forest is impossible, but I might be able to heal some locations. That fort on the hill? The Bright Vigil was up to some dark deeds there. Believe it or not, I could cure that place. But only if I had help getting proof the Vigil's leaders paid for their crimes. See now, patience is rewarded. I've dreamt of this moment, and I know what to do. The last vigilance fell at Bright Rest Cemetery. If you'll recover their sigils and meet me at the Post-Strecken Shrine, I'll explain.
Cora, whatever Umberto says, you mustn't believe him. Something in the Grand Vigilant changed after I expressed doubts about Sonsbrook. Oh. He's been paranoid, keeping secrets. There's something about making a heart gem to protect himself. Like those mad soul wardens. I fear he's trying to turn us against each other. If we don't stay united, I worry we'll both end up like traitors.
Fortuitous timing, my friend. You catch me on the verge of traveling into Weaver's Fen to inquire about Umberto. Pennyfather was adamant that I'd find answers there. Of course, with so many leads to follow, it's good we can split up. I will not dally in the Fen. I will gather what information I can and then rejoin you and the alchemist. Until then, light be with you, friend.
Another one! What will it be this time? More hot coals? Going to take a finger or a toe? Wait! You're not one of those Varangians! You've got to help get me out of here! Abigail. Oh, that brilliant woman! Figured it wouldn't take her long to mount a rescue, especially since I figured out what these brutes are searching for. Merdin's workshop. The problem is that I may have given them the way to reach it. You did? Well, were you able to track down my journal and deliver it to that wonderful woman, Quiva? There's a thumb in their eye, I'm sure of it. That Soneshka woman at the camp thought she'd solved every problem when she found my journal and the keystone. Right then, let's get me out of here. If you can bring me my pack, I'll have what I need to break out. You're back! Didn't have any trouble going through them, did you? Good, good. Were you able to find my pack? I'll need it to crack this cage. Let me just... Ha! Exactly this. Now then, I've got the tools, but it'll take a bit of time. I need a distraction. There's a big cannon up on the walls behind me. Turn it onto the camp. Light up some of their tents. Maybe take down their leader if you're up to it. That should be more than enough to let me escape. Thanks for your help back there. I'm going to rest here for a bit, then take the long way back to the south. Don't want to have any other accidental run-ins with those armored cretins. I'm much better at staying out of sight than in a brawl. Abigail will be waiting for my report.
Ah, you got the bright sigils? Amazing. I can't express how good it feels to have an ally in this effort, especially one who can fight. We'll need some token from the Grand Vigilant as well, but that can wait. Removing the curse from Kea will take more than just seeing the Vigil's crimes avenged. We'll need the healing power of the Earth itself. Yes, but I'm not so keen on that wording. The so-called Angry Earth. evolved from a deep and primal power. They pose a grave threat to humanity, but their bond with the energy of Azoth is sacred. My fascination with plants and alchemy began in the old world, but here it transformed into something more... metaphysical? This is how I know that with the right components we can heal the fortress of Aeternum. A nearby grove harbors a sacred Azoth tree, tended by angry earth shamans. Venture into the shaman's subterranean lair to claim their vessels, and then use those to collect the sacred waters from the tree's roots. I'll wait here. There is something different about you, I think. You were touched somehow by the tree, weren't you? Don't worry, I won't pry. We want to remove the curse from Aeternum, and now we have the waters. All that remains is some token to prove the Grand Vigilant has also answered for his crimes. I believe your friend Galahad knows where to find him. I will go on to Aeternum and make preparations. See you there soon, I hope.
The alchemist is clearly gifted in some Vestal fashion. You've done well partnering with her. My tidings are less inspiring. No sign of Grand Vigilant Umberto in the fen, but a clue guided me to find him back here. After all we've learned, I presumed Umberto had long since fallen lost. It would have been a just fate. But no, I confronted him myself, and to my horror, his humanity has somehow been preserved. Did he? I will refrain from commenting on that practice out of respect, but Umberto must be called to answer for his crimes. If the heart gem protects him, it must be destroyed, though I cannot be the one to do it. The wretch has been hiding out all this time, and when I accosted him, he sealed himself inside the sanctum at Vigil's stand. Break him there, defeat him, and take his heart gem. I will await your return. Godspeed, my friend.